Hello and welcome to my Pillars of Eternity blind playthrough. Today it's part 13. In the last episode we arrived in the first fire district of Defiance Bay and met the Crucible Knights for the first time. Also we went to the catacombs for the first time and the pursuit of the goal of the main quest about Wodika. So currently we are in front of the locket room and hopefully we will find there something interesting. So let's continue right away and enjoy the game.
I can get it to spill its secrets. It's done.
Lockpick was successful and in the background we already hear probably some skeletons. So
Hello.
I was
Hello?
correct.
Hey.
Hello. Hello?
I shall be discreet.
Check if we can find something here or not. Skeletal fighter.
Ready?
Slow and silent.
Very good. Hmm. So that was probably not the place. The urn sent us to. Never mind. Let's follow a few more places. We have still one place to go.
I shall be discreet.
Another skeletal fighter.
Hey. This thing isn't doing the job.
Braved out.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello?
This looks like an necromancer's tomb. So let's see what we can find here. Besides skeletons.
Finish them! Finish them! Yeah.
Let's go to another wizard. Let's do this.
Following your lead. Hello? Hello?
Certainly.
What Ravil's state? Two ways to go. Let's go this way first. Pistol. And the trap.
Now here's something.
I'm here.
Another trap. Failed. Is there no potion to... or spell cleric?
What?
Across,
Yes?
Nope.
What?
Ready.
Awesome. The pathfinding sometimes
Watcher.
really sucks in this game.
How may I help?
Severburn.
Hmm?
Slow and silent.
Certainly.
Helic of Tyne. A lone figure in tattered robes shuffles across the chamber, muttering under its breath. As you approach, the figure halts and swivels its head towards you. Its haggard visage is a labyrinth of wrinkles and sores overgrown by a moss-like bird. What's this? Who disturbs Helic's work? Its voice rattles and gurgles like that of a droning man. Hmm. What are you doing down here? Research, a hodgepodge of animancy and necromancy. I hope he isn't quite as well as an abundant supply of subjects. If there's nothing else, be on your way. What are those creatures behind you? Just a few personal projects, sorry cells stuck in their molten shells. Their flesh is as dead as mine, though their minds are not as well maintained. They flock to me like worms to drakes. They're not half as intelligent, but he watches as one stumbles into a desk. They're served for amusement. You're Helic. Dalton sent me to look for Rowena. He leans back and bursts into raucous laughter. His threadbare robes drift apart, revealing an amulet and a ragged wound running from chest to throat. It sputters a black, vicious fluid on the floor with every cackle. That old fool is still alive? I do hope he still doesn't bear a grudge for that incident. It was so very long ago. Dalton believes that Rowena is in catacombs. He seems to restrain another bound of chuckling. Oh, you could say that. If you were to retrieve my grimoire from Mordred, I'll let you in one on the secret. Alright, what do you need me to do? When animancy started gaining popularity, I came to Defiance Bay in hopes of finding a place where my research would meet with more acceptance. Worked at the Breckenbury Sanitarium for a few months when I met Mudrat. He spits a glob of black blood on the floor. Let's just say, Mudrat and I didn't see eye to eye. Got so bad we were threatening to kill each other on a daily basis. Obviously, that bastard made good on his threat. He runs a jagged fingernail along his oozing wound, sank a dagger into my chest while I was sleeping, and dumped my body into the catacombs. If Mordred killed you, how are we having this conversation? I'd preserved my mind and my memories with anguish and magic and a few timely preparations. He looks at his rotting hands, yet no, my soul is anchored to this decaying husk. His claw-like hands clench into fists. Mordred stole the life from me and left me with this wrecked corpse and this craving. He glitches at his stomach and glances at you, hungrily, but only for a second. Mordred keeps all that is precious to him in a trunk in his laboratory, just as he stole my grimoire. He offers you a key with a claw-like hand. On your way to Breckenbury Sanitarium, then. Bring me my grimoire and my revenge, and you can have your Rowena. He chokes on a burbling chuckle. Farewell. I met Helgoftine, the wizard who killed Rowena all those years ago. He claims to know where she is, but he demanded a favor for me. Helic wants me to retrieve his grimoire to settle an old debt. He is confident that it's been locked away by Modred, an animenser at Brackenbury Sanitarium, and Helic's old rival. So let's
To whispers and shadows.
search this a little bit and then let's find the grimoire. Dust and cobwebs have been swept aside for various alchemical implements. Though coated with rust and grit, they look recently used. A grim assortment of rusty blades adorn this table. Tarnished locket. The silver rocket is dented and tarnished. A faded portrait of a young nobleman still rests inside. His face has been worn away by time. Okay, let's leave it there for a while until we solve the quest. The scattered feverish notes detail various animantic procedures and rites of necromancy. Yeah, I have a lot of luck with this. And you are blind, my.
Yes? Certainly.
Following your lead.
Hmm? Burns.
Following your lead.
Where are you? God, the pathfinding is awful.
Yes?
Yes?
What?
Hey. How may I help? Oh? Certainly. Sharp eyes and keen ears.
Okay, we visit Helic at some later point, so let's stay here for a while.
Laying low.
And search. Temple of Vodika. A main quest.
What?
Yes?
In front of you looms the ghostly hollow image of a man who was present at your awakening. He cast a pale, sickly light in the dank corridor as he regards you.
You are from Kratom, my boy.
His words are an echo in your mind from a long time past, and you know your response before you speak it, as if it has always been. I came to live there years ago.
A remarkable city. Truly one of the most impressive we have encountered outside of our own. Many exceptional people who have joined our cause come from Kratom. What made you decide to join our order?
I'm honestly not sure.
As long as you are assured in your faith, the rest is not so important. Are you ready to take the oath? To spread the word of the gods to the lost and heathen?
I am.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places. Thing?
Another trap. And again.
Yes?
Skill points.
What have we here?
So let's check what this. What this ring is. I'll give it to you. You think you hear the faint sound of whispering coming from the skulls, but the words are unintelligible. Nothing else. So let's speak to Hafmak.
What?
Hey,
The mercenary eyes you warily as you approach, his weapon readied. What are you doing here? You don't look like the one of that masked lot. Relax, how would I know to be here if I didn't belong? He thinks carefully, then nods. Alright then, go on and reports to the acolyte, and she'll give you your assignment. They should be just about finished with their meeting in the big chamber. Know anything about this place? He shakes his head. As far as can tell, we're underneath first fires, probably under the ruined temple. Any idea what's going on around here? A word of advice, friend. Don't ask questions. Just go and do what you're told. Very well. So the helm does need to be on the main character. Not on... Not on different one. Yeah, let's do it without it.
Hello? Hello?
And I've made my way into the chambers beneath the ruins of the Temple of Vodica. If what Morvel said is true, this is my best chance to find the leading key. of mercenaries. The acolyte's crankier than usual. One of her masked friends got lost in the sewers, it seems. I don't understand all the secret handshake business, but it pays. Let's go this way for a while. Only mercenaries here. What is this? Ingredients. Did they send you to check on that nervous kid in the library?
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
Meat, cheese, grain, and oil. By the deeds of my tongue, and oh, that's not it. Initiate. Let's talk to him.
I'm here.
Where are you?
Hello.
A lone figure paces back and forth, tapping his fingers at his sides, muttering to himself. He jumps when he sees you, his hands on his chest. By the flame, you startled me. He pauses and leans forward. Where's your mask? It's too itchy. I'll put it back on for the meeting. Well, I don't let anyone inside you see without it. They're keen on anonymity. Tell me about the meeting. This must be your first time. The acolyte communicates with each of us individually to hear of our progress on old tasks and to assign us new ones. He shivers with a mixture of pleasure and dread. It's a unique process. She's a cipher, so she can speak to you without words. Fascinating, until you realize she can probably read your thoughts as well. What do you know about these tasks? He laughs nervously. Only what I absolutely need to. We protect the secrets of the gods, so discretion is essential. He waves a hand between the two of you. We receive our instruction from the acolyte, just as she receives her from someone else, and so on, right up to the Grand Master. Our role is to obey, knowing as little about the overall plan and each other as possible. How can you be so how can you be confident you're doing the right thing when you know so little? He snorts. That's easy. The Leaden K has been around for ages, by the blessings of the gods. You only have to look around to see the perils of trying to usurp divine power. Killing a god in the Saints' War has cursed us all, and the heresy of animancy has only worsened matters. Try to replace a soul, and you inevitably end up with a monster. It's all been a warning. There are some powers we just shouldn't have. Tell me about these secrets. He jumps back. You shouldn't even be asking. Whatever they are, they're secrets for a reason. Our job is to guard them, not to know them. I see. We've been entrusted with important work. It's an honor, but not without its challenges. You need something else? I'll be ready for the initiating meeting soon. Honest. What are you doing here? He resumes his pacing. I've been practicing the passphrases. I know them backwards and forwards, but I get so nervous every time I think about repeating them on the acolyte. He wrings his hand. You can practice on me. Okay. He ushers in a deep breath with fluttering hands. Here goes. First question. State your name and purpose. Answer. My name belongs to the gods and my hand to the service. Second question. What company do you seek? Answer. I seek the company of shadows that our labors may remain secret. Third question. Tell me about your labors. Answer. To see that the craft of Kith and Wilder does not disturb that what bones the gods have buried. Fourth question. How do we know your purpose? Answer. You shall know it by the confession of my tongue, the deeds of my hand, and the oath on my soul. Riddles upon riddles. What bones the gods have buried. It's very dramatic, isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry, please continue. Fifth question. And how is your oath guarded? Answer. It is sealed by the leaden key. He sighs with a nervous chuckle. That wasn't so hard. Sounds like you got it. I do, I think. He bites his lip. I'm just going to practice a few more times by myself before my meeting. Goodbye. Okay, so probably the main character has to wear this. The queen that was and still is. Lord Monk.
It's done.
Let's search everything and move forward with the mask. A book lies on the table, its pages filled with some kind of unintelligible cryptography. Okay, let's move forward and see what more can we find. A lot of mercenaries. I hope the questions and answers are okay.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Eloth falters and brings a hand to his forehead. He takes a staggering step forward, coughing and sputtering.
Back, ye clod! Those hooded fiends are nigh to be trusted!
Elf, pull yourself together. He grimaces, catching his breath. It's nothing, I'm fine. He coughs again. This probably isn't the best place to linger, anyhow.
Laying low.
You hear murmurs and chants on the other side of the door. A ritual of some sort is underway. Continue into the chamber alone. You open the door and stride into the chamber. Shrouded woman, several shrouded figures are lined up across from a hooded woman. The figure at the head of the line approaches her, and the woman places her outstretched hand on the stranger's forehead. They stand in the silent communion as you look on. A few moments later, the stranger steps aside and resumes his place in the circle around the statue. The woman turns toward you. You are late, attendant. Even though her face is concealed, you sense her rage in her dangerously low voice and in the sudden silence of the others in the chamber.
I've been waiting on your reports. Quickly now, state your name and purpose.
My name belongs to the gods and my hands to their service.
What company do you seek?
I seek the company of shadows that our labors may remain secret.
Tell me of your labors.
To see that the craft of kith and wilder does not disturb what bones the gods have buried.
How do we know your purpose?
You shall know it by the confession of my tongue, the deeds of my hand, and the oath on my soul.
And how is your oath guarded?
It is sealed by the leaden key.
Welcome, attendant. Tell me of your exploits.
In your mind, you see a building magnificent with trellises and tiles and located on a pristine boulevard. The wealthy and learned stroll in and out, trading knowledge and coin.
Does he wait still?
Yet it also houses misery and madness. Somewhere within its rotten core sits a man. His hairs matter, but his eyes alert. He watches and waits, a prisoner by choice. The acolyte's question echoes in your mind. Does he still wait? Yes.
Did they arrive?
The acolyte's vision takes you out of Defiance Bay and to a town in the wilderness with a watermill. A signpost on one of the paths reads Deerfield. Several figures huddled together, shrouded in cloaks and hood. An image of Maroon suddenly looms in your mind. Two skeletal effigies flank a cleft in a mountainside. Did they arrive? It's uncertain.
Your information shall be relayed. Now, for your next task.
The ruins fade from your mind, and their place is a palimpsest of a neighborhood. Run-down estates are cobbled around a cemetery and an ancient tower. Savage shapes sprawl the streets, and in the tower a man hunches over a strange mechanism. You can't see him clearly, but there's something unnatural about him.
Stop him. And above all, don't let him meet her.
The acolyte shows you a door in the base of the tower, a seemingly impenetrable slab of stone and copper. But then she shows you the invisible split between the perfectly matched halves, and you understand how the copper veins convert a command into action. The command comes to your mind, a surprising familiarity about it. You know how to open door. I shall. Her hands rest lightly on your head. Have you any questions, attendant? Show me the prisoner. In your mind, you see a building magnificent with trellises and tiles and located on the pristine boulevard. The wealthy and learned stroll in and out, trading knowledge and coin. Yet it also houses misery and madness. Somewhere within its rotten core sits a man, his hair matted, but his eyes alert. He watches and waits, a prisoner by choice. Could I see the vision of the ruins again? The Acolyte's vision takes you out of Defiance Bay and to a town that you somehow know is called Dirford. Several figures huddled together, shrouded in cloaks and hoods. An image of ruins suddenly looms in your mind. Two skeletal figures flank a cleft in the mountainside. And remind me about the man in the tower. You see a palimpsest of a neighborhood. Rundown estates are cobbled around the cemetery and an ancient tower. Savage shapes prowl the streets, and in the tower a man hunches over a strange mechanism. You can see him clearly, but there's something unnatural about him. Stop him, and above all, you see a deathly pale woman with scar over her heart. Don't let him meet her. Farewell. Through that gate, the Acolyte's vision showed the mysterious ruins somewhere outside of Dirford. The leading K has sent operatives to find the site, though their purpose is unknown to me. I don't know exactly where these ruins are, but perhaps someone in Dirford village does. The Acolyte showed me a vision of an ancient tower in a derelict district of Defiance Bay. There was a strange man in the tower working on some kind of machine. I also saw a woman with a scar over her heart. I don't know where she is, but I suspect that she holds the key to whatever happened here. The leaden key was interested in this tower for a reason. I need to understand what it does if I'm to figure out their plans. The leading K acolyte showed me an ancient tower near a cemetery in a neighborhood filled with rundown estates. Following this lead will require locating the tower. Asking around would be a place to start. Perhaps among the patrolling justiciars who would know the city well. The man who waits. The leading K acolyte showed me a vision of an agent in a place of misery and madness. I need to find this agent and discover his or her plan to see if it holds any clues to finding the man I'm searching for. The leading K acolyte showed me a wealthy neighborhood that also housed misery of madness. There was someone waiting there, a prisoner by choice. If I am to find this person, I will need to find this neighborhood. Perhaps the guards will know of it. I've made my way into the chambers beneath the ruins of the Temple of Vodica. If what Merrill said is true, this is my best chance to find the Leiden Key.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Let's quick save and go around for a little bit.
Certainly.
Whether by design or by consequence of the sputtering candlelight, the hooded statue face, it's almost impossible to see. Twerk of Defiance. Devotees have placed assorted keys, their teeth filled away among the runnels of wax. So, what does this do? Only usable by ranger. And Sagan is our ranger. Yes. Let's use this. And this goes. No one knows where, so let's try it out. The steward of Kednua has received a letter for you. A letter has arrived at Kednua, addressed to its new ruler. The steward believes it may present an interesting opportunity. The steward has requested my presence at Kednua, as she has a matter of some importance to discuss.
Sagani, does your fox bite?
Yes.
Can I pet him anyway?
It's your hand.
I'm gonna pet him. A moment, please. I feel I should explain myself.
Okay, let's talk to Aloth.
About my episode in the catacombs. There's something I should have told you earlier.
So, tell me now. He clasps his hands together, slowly messaging Anakl with his thumb. I meant no harm. I thought I could keep it to myself, that when we resolve the matter of your soul, we would also address my problem.
I also have an awakened soul. But unlike yours, mine is a presence that shares my senses and my skin, making herself manifest at the most unwelcome times.
He closes his eyes and grits his teeth. His lips quiver and twitch with the vestige of some internal debate. Several seconds later, he opens his eyes again. They're watery and bloodshot.
I'm sorry. I've tried to learn to control Isilmir. I've gotten stronger, but so has she.
Tell me about the Selmir.
Artless, uncouth, a creature of rash impulses and feeble faculties. She wags her impertinent tongue when she should listen. Aye, this one's fit to boil. Hard to get this gaff over anything tisn't to do with books and spell speak.
He grimaces, running his hands through his hair. I have none of her memories. Barath spare me that much. But her coarse manners are, and intelligible he'll speak, suggest a provincial from a very, very long time ago. She tends to surface a harsh breath from conflict, when the fuse has burned down and teeth are on edge, and when she shows up, she doesn't stop to gauge a situation. She just acts. She seems reckless. That's it, exactly. You recall the way she goaded those villagers in Gilded Vale. She doesn't think and she doesn't back down. And trying to suppress that has been my problem for years. Why didn't you say something sooner?
I learned to keep her a secret a very long time ago. Those with awakened souls are shunned, mistrusted. And after your experience with Meowald, I'm certain you can see why. You need to be careful.
Is this going to be a problem?
Merely an annoyance. Although,
He lowers his voice and claps his hands behind his back. Minute twitches and spasms along his arms betray his fidgeting.
Defiance Bay is said to have an entire institution dedicated to the study and cure of soul-related ailments. Since our journeys have already brought us to the city, Perhaps we could speak with someone there.
If it's helpful to you, we'll go.
Thank you. This has been a great burden.
Let's talk about something else. Eloth looks at you with quite attentiveness. How may I be of service? I'd like to know more about this Elmir. He raises an eyebrow. Such as? When did she awaken? My father was a strict man. He expected the best from his only child, and he didn't tolerate failure. His face becomes drawn. At times, he could be rather adamant, particularly when he'd be drinking. His self-fear manifested on one such occasion. To be honest, I don't remember the specifics, only that he was more careful with me after that. You said that you learned to hide her a long time ago. My mother instructed me to keep her a secret after she first emerged. She feared that knowledge of my awakening would render me an outcast. Even though Iselmil proved useful against my father, I trusted my mother's advice, and I've since come to see the wisdom behind it. Merwelt is an extreme example, but one that I can relate to more and more each year. Could I talk directly to her? He gives you thought from her. Usurpations are uncomfortable enough. I am not eager to invite her into my consciousness any more than necessary. Let's discuss something else. Indeed. How may I be of service? That's all. Eloth revealed that an awakened soul, the Selmir, dwells within him. He is asked for help in finding an expert who understands his predicament. Eloth mentioned that Defiance Bay has an entire institution devoted to the study of the illness of the soul. This must be the same place that I saw in Acolyte's vision. I may be able to find someone there who knows something about awakened souls. Probably an asylum. So... Ondra's Gift or Brackenbury? Or Kednua? Let's check the Kednua. $13. And let's check the... Oh, very close to the next level and to get a skill up in mechanics. So I think let's go to the Ondra's Gift.
And what does the flame reveal?
What is it? I'm looking for a neighborhood with a tower. It's near a cemetery. Best you stop looking then. The place you want is Heritage Hill. You can see the tower over the district's wall out that way. The Justiciar points to the northwest. But something happened there. They don't let people in anymore. And none of the Knights want to be posted anywhere close to it. Steer clear if you know what's good for you. Where are the Met kept in Defiance Bay? Only place around here that takes them is in Brackenbury Sanitarium. I've heard they can treat your soul there, take the madness away, but there's just as many stories coming out of that place that chill your blood. There's a man, if you want to call him that, Ethelmer, there. He's head warden, if you're visiting or checking yourself in. He's the one to talk to. Farewell. The tower I saw looms above the wall surrounding Heritage Hill. I hope to find the next piece of the puzzle there. I should confer with the head warden of the sanitarium at Elmer about how to proceed with my search for the leaden key there. It appears that Breckenbury Sanitarium is our best hopes of finding help for Aloth. So... maybe we should not go to Andra's Gift, but go directly to Sanitarium, because also the quest for Rowena is going there.
And what does the flame reveal?
No? Nothing. Okay. So Breckenbury, Sanitarium, Andra's Gift, Hadrid House, the Manor, Raymond Manor, and the Churn Barrel. Okay, let's walk a little bit around and then go to Sanitarium. Nadine. Huh, interesting.
Good day, stranger.
A woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She is fixated on the pages of a large and well-worn tome, seemingly oblivious to the blooming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. What are you so busy with? She snaps her book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean about making them stick? She brushes a stray flock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to a whole spate of souls-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. But if we understand how to retouch souls, we could end Waidwen's legacy, maybe even conquer death. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory, anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all of the research I need to put it into practice. What exactly do you need? There's a manuscript called The Theorems of Pentagram. It contains research from Pentagram's experiments on detached cells. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumored to have a copy in the Elder Archives. Pentagram's work is considered to be one of the more daring animancy texts, not something generally circulated among novices, not easy to get a hold of. I wonder if we might have a peek at it. The theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimda, the High Archivist, worships well, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge, and since she is not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful to me. I'm sorry to hear that. She sighs. Look at me spilling my troubles. It's kind of you to listen, but I should really get back to my work. Anything else? She looks eager to return to her studies. I have some questions about the theorems of Pangram. Before I give it to her, such as, tell me about the theorems of Pangram. Pangram was an eminence working in the Deerwood. He had some interesting theories about essence and some rather innovative techniques for studying it. He was able to retouch souls to bodies after death, although he wasn't able to prevent his patients from degenerating. He was controversial, to say the least, but many are starting to realize that he was merely ahead of his time. What do you mean by degenerating? Nadine twists her hands together. Well, there seems to be a tiny problem with reattaching souls after death. The bodies will reanimate and may even retain memories and personality, but they develop a hunger for flesh, living, soul-infused flesh. Without it, they start to devolve, decaying mentally and physically. If the process goes too far, which it eventually does, they become mindless corpses, attacking anything that moves. We haven't figured out a way to our death. And you wonder why Grimdas won't share this research with you? That sounds dangerous. Of course it is, but every great discovery carries years of trial and error. This is why we need the research of people like Ben Graham to help us turn these failures into something useful. Why doesn't Grimda lend you the books you need? The whole of Revealed Mysteries is rather protective of its books, especially the rare ones, and Grimda in particular. She hates animancy, thinks it's dangerous. I don't see how you can run the greatest library in the Deerwood and be so adverse to the spread of knowledge and research. But I never understood these religious types. Let's close the animancer. Some knowledge is best kept under lock and key. I'd like to know about the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. You'll find it in the Copperland district. It's dedicated to the God of Secrets and Revelations. Most importantly, it houses the largest and most expensive library in the Deerwood. Well, that settles this. We simply must go see it, right? What are the Elder Archives? The Elder Archives hold the rarest, most arcane, and most powerful texts in the Deerwood. Think of it as the inner sanctum of Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Needless to say, you need Grimda's permission to enter. That's all I wanted to ask. Anything else? She looks eager to return to histories. Tell me about yourself. I'm an animancer at the sanitarium. Currently, I'm researching matters related to Waidwen's legacy. What's Waidwen's legacy? Waidwen's legacy refers to the rise in Hallowborn children in the Deerwood in recent years. Somehow also connected it to so-called biovax that blows through air Glenfath. There's hardly any reliable data on those, though, so I can't really comment. She sniffs. I don't much care for them. I don't much care for the term Waidwen's legacy. It reeks of superstition, but it's too prevalent to change at this point. Personally, I'd like to see people take a more methodical approach to these matters rather than throwing up their hands and blaming the gods. Good to hear someone speaking sense on the matter. You'll never believe what I found. You, Lady of Lament, you really found it. Neddy cradles the musty tome like a newborn. I can't believe it. It really exists. She looks back at you. Thank you so much. This will be invaluable. She almost turns to the book, but at the last moment she remembers herself and gives you a bag of coin. I'm glad this will be useful to you. I don't suppose you could spare a little more. Ah, of course, she pulls a ring from her finger. It may not look like a much, but I've always been able to use this ring to generate a little extra money when I was between stipends. It's critical for someone doing research without the benefit of a wealthy patron. She smiles weakly and hands it to you. Please take it. You've certainly given me a resource I couldn't have found on my own. Ring of Eternal Funding added to inventory. That's interesting. I'll leave you alone. Forever. New quest. Nadine, an animancer I met in front of the Brackenbury Sanitarium, told me of the Elder Archives and the rare manuscripts they contain, including one by an animancer named Pentagram. She needs the theorems of Pentagram to continue her research, but the archivist won't give her access. I obtained the theorems of Pentagram for Nadine, who was ecstatic to finally have it in her hands. Superstitious folk near Rhode End have been acting on a rumor that the hair of a dead virgin that was bound and buried alive near can cure a hollow bone. Not only has it resulted in horrific attacks against young women, but unscrupulous merchants have taken to selling bits of hair of those who don't have the stomach to perform the act themselves. Rhodes and local towns have assigned agents to root out the problem, but they've had little success. Though Moonshine was unable to find the source of the rumors plaguing Rhodes End and the surrounding earldom of Hellsgate, the local authorities assisted in breaking up mobs, punishing would-be murderers, and preventing more young women from being buried alive. A particularly large and violent mob at Kell Hill Cemetery required Moonshine to rally the local soldiers and put down the primary troublemakers. On the body of the biggest belligerent, Moonshine found an odd magical rope that he intended to use on a local young woman. A wizard advisor of the Earl of Hellsgate suspected that the rope had been created by the same person responsible for spreading the rumors and inciting the attacks in the first place. Binding rope. Okay, so that was first quest finished in the stronghold by our paladin there. And everything goes to the treasure chest. And still 12 hours. So everyone leveled up. So a little bit time. Mechanics. And which spell? Puppet Master. Sounds good. And the talent. Plus 10 max focus and I take this psychic backlash. Yes. And I have to use this. Elf. And one spell. I think this one. And this one. So no further. Athletics. No. +1 enemies engaged. I think this one is the best for him. As a tank. Durance. Let's go this way. Nope. This side might be interesting. Inspiring radiance. Kana. Okay, the invocations. This will be defense against... Nope. This might be interesting. Or this. I use this one. I like the paralysis best. Let's take this one. And the last one, not least, is Sagani. And she needs one athletics just in case. This one. Okay, we are done now with the level up, so we can continue.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not very quiet.
Just hear me out. With this procedure, her souls would be returned intact, more or less. More or less? It's that how you plan on representing your idea to Ethelmer? Why? Not good? Not good. These charming windows are reinforced with iron bars and double thickness of glass. Sanitarium. The marble is cool and perfectly smooth. Droplets of crystal clear water beads the statue. The charred barrel is the finest inn in the city if you're looking for lodging. I might go there in a few minutes. These days it's rare to find folks who will do so much for strangers. There isn't so much as a spot on these rangers. Rice. So... Let's check this first and then go to the inn.
I'm on the trail.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Nothing hidden there.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Despite what you may have heard, nothing unusual goes at the sanitarium. We'll see about that. And Raymond's Manor. I think this is another quest. We'll see about that in a while. I wish more people knew how to keep a cool head these days. The charred barrel. It was an interesting show. That's all I can really say. Come on, you can tell me more. Just one thing, please. Sorry, I promised Kederman. Let's not talk about this here. Alright? We were very lucky to have Dunnery Drove based in Brackenbury. It makes the district feel safer. Okay, let's go to the inn, and then probably to Raymond Manor. We'll see.
And what does the flame reveal?
Tristan. Noble. Nonton is here. And Ingrot. Heartless bitch. Let's talk to Nonton first. Begging your pardon. Oh, it's you. It's good to see you well. We had a few rough days here, but then we found this place and they were kind enough to hire us both. Things have been wonderful. I can't tell you how much we appreciate what you've done. It's hard work, but good wages. Can't complain.
Hello? Hello?
Let's talk to the innkeeper.
Gods keep you.
The man is dressed in neat but functional clothes. His sun-wrinkled skin and limber's muscularity reflect a life spent in the wilderness. Well met. What brings you to the charred barrel? Is this your place? It's my retirement. He thumbs the bar. Used to be a warehouse back when Brackenbury saw more ship traffic, but it felt out of use when the area became mostly residential. I inherited it from some great uncle who'd never had any luck pawning it off on my cousins. No, it's the most popular spot in Brackenbury. The nobles come to unwind, and kids from other districts come to mingle. He leans closer. We got a few rough types too, but they behave in the here. Sides their con as good anyone else. Who are you? I was a cartographer for the Duke for decades. He rubs his neatly stubbled cheek, crossed the White Marsh half a dozen times, and mapped most of the ruins of Thane Bog. He grins, flashing a gold tooth. A good career, but one suited to a younger man. When I came back to Defiance Bay for good, Cliver and a few other friends and the knights helped me get the right refurbish this place. There's strong ale, quality entertainment, and the fresh sea breeze. He raises a mug. What more could a man want? Show me your menu. Ah, interesting and expensive. Perception, stealth, intellect, and will. No. Not at the moment. Thank you.
I'll take a look.
Let's search and talk with the cook. The omen smells of roast game, hen, and baking bread. Please don't track dirt into my kitchen. The patrons here are particular.
I'll see what I can find.
Each plate and utensil has been polished to a spotless shine. The thin stamped goblets ring melodiously at the strike of fingernail.
To whispers and shadows.
House de Meronal has a dark reputation, but they're perfectly good neighbors. The script and props belong to a production of the most unfortunate tale of Favia and Barnat.
Yes?
Let's talk to understudy. And though I will may splinter my soul, I will.
Certainly.
So let's talk to Tristan then. The young elf is dressed in gaudy robes that he seems ready to cast off. He picks at a heavily brocaded sleeve and continually adjusts the gold chain around his neck. He looks up at you. Did he send you to run me out of town? You can tell her I'm not going anywhere without the medallion. I told Cyril I wouldn't let her sell it. If that's what you're here about, then save yourself the trouble. He puts up his chest but glances at the exit. Just tell me what the problem is. He relaxes. If you have to ask, then you're obviously not here to shake me down. Cyril's a courtesan hour at the Salty Mast in Ondra's Gift. We've been working together for over a year now. I find a noble with more money than sense, fill him up with liquor, and send him her way. They have a good time, and Cyril takes her fee, and a little extra. He rubs his fingers together. 100 coppers here, a trinket there. It's a bounty for us, and these lords and ladies never notice anything missing. No harm done then. Anyway, we always split the bounty until a week ago. He squeezes his lips into a tight frown. She takes a necklace off of some noble. It's an Anguitan medallion, damn near priceless. That relic is sacred to my clan, but she won't part with it for any sum I could afford. He tucks at the gold chain around his neck, and even if I wanted to, I can't go home without it. Sagan is broke for us in pity. That's a hard thing. Tell me more about your situation. He picks at the hem of his sleeve. What do you want to know? What makes this medallion so important to you? I grew up in Air Glanfath with the Shattering Spear clan. We Glanfathans have protected Angvitan ruins for thousands of years. It's the only one duty the gods ask for us in exchange for the freedom to live as we please. He fidgets with an emerald ring on his pinky. But treasure hunters looted the ruins in our territory, and we left the wilds we'd dwelt in for generations. Most of my clanmates scattered to towns around the Deerwood and probably live on crust of bread. He looks at his embroidered robes with disgust. Restoring this medallion to the ruins would earn us the god's forgiveness. The Shattering Spear could go home. This is all rather fascinating. A single medallion to earn the god's favor and so return home. It rather reminds me of a story I heard somewhere. Tell me about Sorel. She is a courtesan at the Salty Mast, or in Ondra's gift. She wasn't born too much, but she's done what she has to do in order to escape that. He gazes at the string of amber beads around his wrist. She is a good friend. He folds his arm with his trailing, wrinkled sleeves. Without her, I'd probably be living hand to mouth like the rest of the Shattering Spear. But this isn't about her or me. It's about the 40 people in my clan and the way of life we've held to for generations. You seem like you've done well enough for yourself. He clenches his heavily adorned hands. It was this or scrape by in the gutters like the rest of my clan, but I'd give it all for that medallion. I offer to, but it's worth more than anything I've got, and Cyril knows it. I still don't understand why you can't take your money and return to Erglanfath. He sighs, arching his neatly plucked eyebrows. Of course I could, but I'm not talking about logic and practicality. A community isn't a place. It's a connection to history and meaning. He makes circles with his wrist, like an anchor, defending the ruins, for the gods gave us a purpose. Without that, we're adrift. Does this make any sense to you? Yes. He smiles and nods slowly. Then you know what it's like, how to care for something you can explain. That's all I wanted to ask. So, will you help me get the medallion? I'll see about getting the medallion from Sorel. You will find her at the Salty Mast. The only way anyone sees her these days is by paying, so you'll have to go through Mea. He fidgets with his sleeve. But whatever you do, please don't hurt her. I met a young Glanfatan named Tristan at the Blackenbury Inn. He and a prostitute named Sorel work together, fleecing wealthy nobles until she came into possession of an Angvitan medallion. Now she wants it to sell it, but he wants to bring it home to his broken clan. Talk to Sorel at the Salty Mast in Ondra's gift. Sorel has an Angvitan medallion, but she won't give it up easily. She is a prostitute at the Salty Mast, a brothel in Ondra's gift. Tristan suggests that I pay Mea if I want to speak with Sorel. Okay. Let's go under the inn. What we can find there.
Let's see what lies this way.
Pale yellow and deep amber whiskies from the Deerwood and the Living Lands rest side by side. Flasks of the infamous soul burn of the Deathfire Archipelago are nestled next to crystal clear Nasitaki and Glamfellan spirits. Just having a little chat with my associates. Okay. The proprietor has collected a respectable variety of bottles from around the world, from tart Edair reds to sweet summer wines of Ruatawai.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Let's search around the inn a little bit and then I will have to probably finish for today. This ashtray is paired with colorful waves and holes in the style of Ruatai. This map of the Durwood and Erglanfat appears to predate the discovery of some of the ruins in the east. It's signed by the cartographer A. Scarian.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
I will have to play a little bit with inventory. Next time I will play... Oh, this ring. Oh, eternal funding. Let's use it this way. An ixametal water jug fashioned from white clay. Any new interesting items? Probably not. And let's learn this one. This map charts routes through the White March.
To whispers and shadows.
So let's talk to Merwith. Merwith watches you through kohl-rimmed eyes. She puts her hand on the hilt of her blade, jangling the jewels that hang from her wrist. We don't know each other, stranger. Best we keep it that way. You don't seem like a Brackenbury local. I'm a sailor. She gives you a half smile, and a liberator of certain goods. Mervith casualty fingers a large earring, and the nice thing about the snobs here is that they're usually too polite to ask more. What brings you to the charred barrel? Mervith raises an eyebrow. What's it looks like? Good wine and a little peace and quiet. She flips a copper coin with her thumb, and Skerion doesn't ask too many questions. I'll be going. So, unfortunately,
You fought for the Deerwood in the Saints' War?
We'd better grab a couple pints before you get me going on that one.
No complaints here.
okay, once again, this will be it for today, and let's see. No, we are still neutral with Defiance Bay, but we at least got to level 6. Unfortunately, I have to finish for today, so I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. And in another part, we will continue researching Breckenwall and Breckenbury, and go for Sednua to visit the one quest of White March. So, thank you for coming by. If you liked my content, feel free to follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you some other time. Enjoy the rest of your day.